Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So, welcome you again today for this meeting. And I would welcome Toastmaster of the day. And my internet connection is flickering. There is a problem. I would request Raghu to take over, please,
No
because
problem. Good
there is
morning,
some
good
problem.
afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another exciting meeting at Toastmaster for Professionals. We are here to listen. Are you listening? Are you actively listening? That is an important question because that makes a lot of difference. And that's what our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ashvin, has come up with as a theme. Let me invite this bald man in the room, Toastmaster Ashwin, as the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Raju. You like that? Very clean. Oh, yeah. Why is active listening important? When it comes down to it, listening and hearing are two different things. And I hear, just 1 second. There you go. 1 second. I'll mute her. There. That is active listening, but that is not what I was wanted to say. When it comes down to it, listening and hearing are two different things. Your body naturally hears sound, but it requires mental action to listen for understanding. Taking a step further, you can listen passively without attention, or you can listen actively, which is the basis of relationship building. There's a big difference between active listening and passive listening. So why is active listening important from professional settings to personal relationships to communication, which requires active listening? For this reason, I will break down what active listening means exactly, as well as ways to hone in on the skill. So what is active listening? Active listening is a soft skill that directs the focus from what's in your head to the words coming from the outside. By being able to focus on what another person is saying, you can understand needs and information more accurately. Active listening requires the following. 1, not interrupting. 2, summarization. And 3, repeating what you hear back. Wait, there's more. Number 4, picking up body language. Now, why active listening matters for your success? When it comes to your success in education and the workplace, it will require active listening. This is because it takes attention to both the big picture and small details to learn. When you actively listen, your employer can see the difference in your response and work that follows. Perhaps the first place in your career where active listening plays a large role is in the interview process. By paying close attention and making eye contact with the interviewer, you can demonstrate that you are interested in the position and can help problem solve and can work in a team. Now, I'll give you some active listening techniques as we go on in the meeting. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming this evening and morning. We have, I believe, all our functionaries. Is that correct, Raghu? Excellent. And we have 3 excellent speeches today, so we will not have the interview process. I would like to introduce our first speaker today.
Can we have the word of the day?
Oh, the word of the day, yes. Our grammarian is Sarika. Sarika, what is the word of the day?
Hello everyone, I'll switch on the camera in a bit, but the word of the day, I'm posting it in the chat box, is indelible. All right, you can look in the chat box. Indelible, it basically is an adjective which means making a mark that cannot be removed. For example, as Ashwin said, active listening will make an indelible impression on the relationship you share with another person. So all the best to all the speakers.
Thank you, Sarika, and I hope everyone could use the indelible, I can't even talk now. That's not even active listening. Indelible. There you go. Everyone say it. Indelible.
Indelible.
There you go. There you go. This is participation too. Also, thank you. And we have our awe counter too. And today's table topics master is none other than Mr. Raghu. Thank you very much. So I would like to introduce our evaluator who's going to introduce the speaker today. Raghuram.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are. Yeah, this is Raghuram here. I'll be the evaluator for the speak would be pray before you pay. Over to you,
Thank you, Raghuram.
Mary, Dr. Mary.
Dr.
Is
Mary,
my
are
internet
you ready?
connection okay? Are you guys? Am I audible? Clear?
There's a lag in between, but
Yeah.
better now.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Dr. Mary, over to you.
May I see the timer? I'm not able to see the timer. Okay,
The better?
okay,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Today I'll be sharing with you how to pray before you pay. No, I'm not going to preach. I'm not a priest or a pastor or a preacher. There's nothing to do with preaching. Instead, today I'll be showing you or giving you a tip on how you can expand your wealth in all areas of your life. We always think that whenever we think about wealth and money, we always think that it is about expanding, becoming a millionaire, becoming a multimillionaire, or even now, billionaire. Don't we have that wish all the time? Especially to be able to have that financial freedom to do whatever that we want to do for ourselves, for our family, and even for our friends, or even for society. Today, I'm going to show you how you can achieve what I just said. Zoom Master, could I have the first video, please?
I have a ritual when I buy anything. It has to do with how I spend and receive money. Hi, can I get a black coffee, please? Yeah, grande. So maybe you notice I closed my eyes when I handed her the money. I'm going to tell you what's going on there. So the technique here is called the arigato money technique, and it comes from Ken Honda. So we're back in my office. Let me tell you what exactly is this technique. So Ken is famous for being Japan's biggest writer. He's written over 50 books in Japanese. And one of his projects was to interview 12,000 millionaires in Japan and understand how they think about the world and what unique beliefs gave them their edge. One of the people Ken Honda got to approach was Wahei Takeda, the Japanese billionaire, often known as the Warren Buffett of Japan. Ken asked Wahei Takeda for his secret, and Wahei said, "I'll teach you a simple technique. It's called arigato money."
Thank you. It looks like the secret is already out. No, but it's not. Knowing the technique is one thing. How to use it is another. Before I proceed, I would like to introduce the couple of people who were in that video. Vishen Lakhiani is the founder of Mind Valley, and he's a homegrown boy from Malaysia who's made it big in the world and considered as one of the most influential self-help gurus on the planet. Ken Honda, as was introduced just now, is Japan's #1 best-selling personal development author. Let's hear from them how they do this and what is the technique that is involved. If you watch that video carefully, when Vishen was after paying the cashier, he closed his eyes and he said a prayer. What is that prayer that he was saying? Thank you. Arigato in Japanese means thank you. And what is thank you? Thank you is gratefulness, being grateful. And in spirituality and even in any religion, being grateful is the highest prayer you can give to source energy. All the prayers that we say, oh God, do this for me, do that for me, I need this, I need that. No, it all starts with thanksgiving, gratitude. Let's look at the second video.
So Wahei's teaching was rather unique. His teaching was very zen. And the answer to my question, what is the secret of wealth? He said, it's very simple. Arigato your money. And I didn't get it. Arigato your money? And he said, yes, with a big smile. Just arigato your money. That means appreciating your money. The thing I didn't know at the time was by saying arigato in, arigato out, I also had the practice of appreciation without knowing. I realized after a few days, by saying thank you or arigato to your money, I felt very good about myself, my life, and I didn't know that was the effect of arigato in, arigato out. And also, I ended up making more money, or rather I'd say, I ended up receiving more money because the money kept coming in a very mysterious way. Whenever I went to his office or on the way back in Nagoya, I always got the text message from my publishers that I got another reprint of my books in the past, which is always strange because always that good news comes in when I was with Wahei. And I think it was because I was in this mode of appreciating so much, I somehow attracted abundance.
Thank you. Take note of what Ken Honda said. When you are in an aura, in an energy of appreciation, you are in the highest vibration to attract all the good that you want in your life. I'm not joking. I've practiced it myself, and this is a technique that really, really works. Appreciation, gratefulness is a form of prayer, and that is the one that we need to do. The third video, please.
One minute. Yeah, man.
Would you like me to continue while you're doing that?
Yeah.
All right. While Toastmaster Raghu is working on it, I'll tell you how to do this, to start this regimen. The thing is, we have a lot of things.
So I arigatoed when I bought this cup of Starbucks. It was a statement of blessing. But I also arigatoed recently when I had to sign a $100,000 check to a tech company providing us with a service we needed. That is also a form of arigatoing the money. So when you receive money with arigato and you give money with arigato, what you're doing is in your mind establishing this circular flow that money flows through you with blessings, with grace, with ease. This is the secret that Wahei Takeda spoke of in terms of the true mindset of the rich. And Ken Honda says what you start to find is that you eliminate your stress and your anxiety around money, and you start seeing more money come to you because what you appreciate appreciates. And you also see that what you are buying with your money comes to you in the most positive way. So it's a beautiful technique that I've been using in my life.
Thank you. Now I shall actually tell you how to use this technique. As I was trying to say just now, we have, if you notice, we keep paying literally every single day. Money keeps going out, going out, going out. It can be anything from parking tickets, medical expenses, taking your family out for a nice meal. It can be anything, pumping in gas. And when does money come in? For most people, money comes in at the end of the month. Have you noticed that? So every day we just keep putting out money. How do we do this? So we start with one simple act of payment. Anyone, just start with one. We can't keep saying thank you every time we have a parking ticket or we're buying a drink, we're buying our meals. We can't keep doing that. Choose one, just one payment that you want to say thank you for. And do it with grace, do it with a good feeling, be happy about it. At the end of the month, when you get your salary, your pay, or your paycheck, say thank you again. Just start with that. Over time, you will see this regimen giving you results. Trust me, it does. I'm using it and I've done it, and it really, really works. Gratefulness is the key to wealth, happiness, joy, even love in our lives. I hope that you will use it. Pray before you pay. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Dr. Mary Thomas. I hope everyone learned something there. The only arigato I knew was from a song, Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. So I don't know if anyone, there's Susan going like that. I love it. Well, thank you. I would like to give you a brief active listening technique so you guys could learn some techniques and while listening to the speeches. Number one, build trust. One example is when an interviewer explains challenges that a business is facing, you can respond with something like, how can I help? How is success measured? Asking questions and building trust. Number two, demonstrate concern. When listening to challenges that a potential employer divulges, you can express your concern. Some responses that work include, I think I can solve that problem by doing XX. Or understand this is a difficult challenge to face. How is the team responding? Number three, non-verbal cues. Not everything involved in active listening requires words. A very important piece of active listening is body language, right? By nodding your head, sharing your eyes, right? And even smiling. You can say a lot without saying anything. Number four, waiting to talk. Like in a setting, it's considered rude to interrupt people. It's better to wait to talk after you hear everything and then share your opinions. Number five, asking questions on the job and in an interview. Asking questions expresses your level of curiosity and care. You can ask technical questions like, what are your next steps? Or should I even reach out to you or wait to hear back? Be committed. Number six, share similar experiences. By listening and then sharing similar situations with those you are speaking to, you can connect in a deeper level and leave a lasting impression. Number seven, paraphrasing. It's a great technique to rephrase what you hear in your own words to both show that you're listening, remember details, and also make sure that you're properly understanding the needs of an employer. For example, you can try something like, so correct me if I'm wrong, but what you're saying is that scaling is the biggest priority right now. And number eight, brief affirmations. Like from the interview to working on the job, brief affirmations allow someone to know where you stand. If your boss has taken the time to speak with you, you can mention your gratitude in a brief affirmation like, I appreciate your time. Thank you. And now for our next speaker, speaker number two. Speaker number two's evaluator is Susan. Susan, would you like to introduce speaker number two?
Yes, with great pleasure, Mr. Toastmaster. Pramod will be giving his icebreaker. I presume it's not his first icebreaker, but it will be a 4 to 6 minute presentation. And he has asked me to look for some more advanced techniques, such as vocal variety. Somebody was speaking. Okay. Vocal variety, pauses and pace. And his title is A Cliche Story.
Mr. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. I decided to name the title of the speech A Cliche Story because, rightly as Susan said, this is not my first icebreaker. This is my 8th icebreaker in Toastmasters. In all the 7 icebreakers, what I did is I created a beautiful story, then I put it in a different manner. I tried different things. But at the end of the day, again, when I get to know people, people were asking more about me. They were asking about me, my family, my job, so many things. So I thought this one, I'll make it a cliche, where I'm going to tell you something very plain and something very factual about my life. I was born in 1981 in a small town in Trivandrum in Kerala. Kerala is the southernmost part of India. It is called God's own country because of its scenic beauty. It was a middle class. I grew up. I studied in a vernacular language school. And one day, I went to a place, it's a library with my father. I saw a group of people practicing speaking. It is a club known as YMCA, Young Men's Christian Association, and they have a junior wing called University Youth. They call it UniY. So they were conducting a model parliament, and they are speaking and they're practicing for the main session. And that created an indelible imprint in my mind. I thought, why these people are here? They are spending a lot of money and they have a lot of time and practice speaking. Then I realized the importance of English language. In my side of the country, we were not that much aware about the importance of English education. I told you already that I studied in a vernacular medium. When I reached my pre-degree, that is after my 10th, it was really difficult for me to write even a single page in English without making any mistakes. Then I realized that if I want to progress in my life, if I want to go out of this place, if I want to interact with people, if I want to go practice and get a job globally, then I have to learn English, and it is the key to the world. I was searching for different options. And finally, I got a teacher and she told me that, Pramod, if you think that English is your weakness, then you should face it. Then, with much difficulty, I decided to go for my master's in English language and literature. I studied Shakespeare, I studied Shelley, I studied Keats, I studied Proust, and I spent a lot of time in the library. So thanks to British Council, we had a library in our hometown. They provided all the books, and I couldn't thank British Library more for the help they did it during my growing up years. I passed out my English literature with flying colors. By that time, I was quite good in writing, but my speaking side was still very bad. Somehow, I got a job in a bank after my post-graduation in law. Then I got married. I have 2 kids. Then I got shifted to a different part of the country called Pune in Maharashtra, where one day I was searching for a platform where I can go, talk, practice, fail. Again, I can fail. Again, I can fail. I was looking for a perfect platform, but I didn't get a platform. One fine day, I came to know about Toastmasters. Somebody told me that there is a platform called Toastmasters. I was very curious. I just went there and I saw the meeting. I was really impressed. I said, yeah, this is what I was looking for. Then I asked, what is the how do you grow people and all? They said it is a 6-minute speech that you have to give, maximum 6 to 7 minutes. So my first doubt was how a person will become a better speaker by delivering 6 to 7 speeches, that is once in a month or twice in a month. I was not quite convinced. But when I went to this Toastmasters website, then I opened the website. There was a bold option on the screen. It says that a Toastmasters life starts with a single speech, or your leadership journey starts with a single speech. I don't remember it exactly, but that captured my attention and I decided to join Toastmasters. And let me tell you, the best 2 decisions in my life. One, I married my wife at a very young age, at the age of 23. Second is joining Toastmasters. Why I said it is the best decision? Now I am 40, my son is 16-year-old. And we are still young, we are going places, we are meeting people, and we both are Toastmasters, and we were very happy that we joined Toastmasters. And that's all about myself and my hobbies. I'm a movie buff. I watch a lot of movies. Still, I watch at least 5 movies in a week. I like Danish movies, Korean movies, Japanese movies, English movies, and all kind of movies. And thanks to OTT platform, because I used to travel a lot, all the film festivals for watching the movies. Now it is available in OTT. So that's all about myself. I hope this cliched speech help you understand the person I am today. So if you have any questions, you can text me. I'm available to answer all your questions. Back to you, Susan. Thank you.
Thank you, Pramod. Thank you very much. So you said there are 2 important things in your life. I think you got the first one correct, is you married your wife. And the second, you said Toastmasters. What about your kids?
It happened naturally.
I know. Toastmasters is one of your kids, and we're your little kids to all of us. So, well, thank you for your speech. Thank you very much. Now, in communication, listening is often overlooked. Most people are so focused on speaking and sharing their own experience that they may forget that listening is a skill that requires practice and constant attention. Think about this. When you introduce yourself to a new person, you probably have experience asking them their name. Then, while they are telling you their name, you're thinking about saying your name next, and you haven't really listened to their name. And now you're embarrassed to ask again. I've been there so many times. This is the problem so many people face in communication. Our minds can easily wander into our own heads and imagine what's coming next, or fall back into the past. And that's why active listening is so important. It's the only way to stay truly present in communication next, or fall back in the past. That's why active listening that's the only way to stay truly present in our current situation. Most people have to practice this as both a reminder and a skill. So most people get caught in this passive listening, rushing, right? Instead of active listening, right? Take a step back, take a breather. And even in that moment when that person you meet says their name, repeat their name. So that way, you know, subconsciously that you'll remember it. So while this means that they aren't really listening, right? While they may not be interrupting, they are not providing feedback or asking questions to really understand the speaker. And our next speaker, number 3, Vamsi, and his evaluator is Jay. Jay, would you like to introduce Vamsi, please?
Yes, sure. So next speech is by Toastmaster Vamsi. He is attempting his project 1 of level 2, and his goal for this speech is identify his primary leadership style or prominent leadership styles. He will share some aspect of his primary leadership style, or he may also speak about his overall leadership style in general. So his speech title is Understanding the Leader, Toastmaster Vamsi.
Thank you, Ashvin, and thank you, Jai. Greetings of the day, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. A famous quote by John C. Maxwell said, leadership is not about titles or positions or flowcharts. It is about influence, one influence the other like. What is meant by leadership? I'm happy to hear you from any one of you in the meeting. I will give 10 seconds to answer to my question. Yeah.
What's the question, Vamsi?
What is meant by leadership in your point of view? Yeah.
Leading a group of people, the most simplistic answer.
Okay, thank you. Anyone?
Giving clear direction.
By example.
Okay, thank you.
Lead
Okay,
by example.
okay, yeah, that is also correct. Yeah, I agree with you, all of you. When you think of leadership, many of us tend to associate it with the power or authority. When you think of CEOs or politicians or military commanders who have the ability to take the decisions that impact on the large group of people. However, I believe that leadership is not limited to those in high positions of authority. When you think of leadership, people will think about the generally leadership is not limited to the only high positions. Leadership can be applicable to the all levels of society and can be anyone who has a desire to impact on the positive lives of others. My next question is, where do you find the leadership in our daily lives? I'm any one of you, I'm happy to hear you, any one of you in the meeting. Yeah. To this question, where do you find the leadership in our daily lives?
Family.
At home? Oh, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
In our office where we work.
Okay. Yeah.
Toastmasters.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Anyone? You can find the leadership in our families, our communities, and our workplaces, and in the world around us. You can find it in the mother who sacrifices her needs to provide for her children. You can find it in the teacher who encourages her students to achieve their full potential. You can find it in the entrepreneur who starts his business to create the jobs and contribute to the economy. You find it in the volunteer who gives his time to those help in need. You can find it in the activist who fights his justice and equality. I'm talking about one of the famous leader in the history, Nelson Mandela. As a man who dedicated his life admirably to serve his people, an incident that demonstrated that his leadership was his role in of negotiations in that to establish the democracy of the South Africa. His leadership in the negotiations is to take a major role to get the democracy in South Africa. In 1919, after 7 years of prison, he was released and he immediately began working on towards the peaceful transition to the democracy. He engaged in the negotiations with the President F.W.D.K. Clark, a leader of the National Party and other political parties to establish the new constitutions to fair and free elections. is not only in the negotiations in the leadership, he also Mandela recognized that his leadership in the peace and working together for the opposers. He famously said that if you want to have a peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then you become your partner, and then he becomes your partner. I will ask one more question to anyone of you in the meeting to answer this question. What is the leader? What is meant by the leader? I'll give 10 seconds to answer to my question. Yeah. Any one of you?
A leader is someone who influences.
Okay, thank you, Sushant. Anyone? Okay, thank you. In my opinion, leadership is about three things. First is vision, inspiration, and action. Firstly, leaders have the clear vision to what they want to achieve. And if they have the sense of pursuits and impact on the people. Secondly, leader is have the clear vision, clear inspiration to others to take an action. Third one, leader is having the taking action to motivate the people to achieve their thoughts. In conclusion, I would say that leadership is not about limited to the position or title. It can be in terms of motivation. It can be influenced by the other people and making the positive impact on the lives of the people. How it is big or small. I encourage each and every one of you to find the inner leader, to make to find the clear vision, inspiring others to and take an action. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Vamsi, for your great speech. Give Vamsi a round of applause. There you go. Find your leadership skills. I found mine in Toastmasters by just diving in and not knowing what to do. I can tell you that. Now, the bottom line is our bodies are designed to hear sounds and words. However, it takes our attention and practice to actively listen to somebody. When it comes to building a successful career, it doesn't happen in isolation. This means that you'll have to master the art of active listening. And the importance of listening does not go unnoticed in any part of your life. It's something to begin practicing as a child and do throughout your whole life in every type of relationship you build. So good communication skills are built on the trifecta of honing your speaking skills, writing skills, and listening skills. And what better place to practice here than Toastmasters? And now we are going to go for our table topics session. Raghu, would you like to take over where's Raghu? Where'd he go?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Raghu ready.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Great. Are you ready, Raghu? Ready? Are you?
Yeah, ready is always ready.
Excellent. Okay, take it away. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Ashvin. Thank you for conducting so marvelously today. You know, I'm really a big fan of you now. You know.
Oh, I gotta.
I think I made your day today.
Yes, you did.
Thank you. Thank you, guys, for this opportunity. And I will have some very interesting table topic today, which would be very useful for everyone listening today. The topic which I have selected in day-to-day life, everyone can implement those factors. So the topic today, which I would like to you guys to take up and talk for a couple of minutes is, what do you do when things go bad? What do you do when you lose a job? What do you do when your stock price goes down? What do you do? Something else happens which is not expected, which is hitting you hard. For example, if today is not my day, what I do? The first thing I do is meditation for about 30 to 45 minutes. I try to take my family, go to a restaurant, spend a couple of hours, and just try to forget it. If it is a big issue, say I lost a big $500,000 in stock, or something else, a bigger issue, I try to get out of my house, go for a vacation, go for a long drive, and come back. Everyone has challenges in life. I would like to know what you guys do when things do not go as we want it to go. This is a very normal scenario. Everyone faces it. If you guys can share it, we can listen and we can try to follow and keep ourselves more healthy, more happy, more peaceful in our life. Very simple. If things are not going good, what do you do? Table is all yours. Any volunteers, please? Or
if there are no volunteers, I can go for it.
Oh, wait.
Sure.
Raise your hand.
Raghu Ram Kara. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Raghu, I think Ray.
Oh, Akwe. Guys, please welcome Akwe. Akwe, can you be on the screen, please? Can you on your video so we can see you, please?
Give me a moment.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Please welcome Akwe.
Yes, Raghu, can you share the topic once more?
Yeah, so, when things are not going good, or when you have a bad news of you're losing something in stock market, or you lost a job, or something bad has happened with you, which you never expected, how do you get out of it? What do you do to forget it and move on?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raghu.
Thank you.
When things are tough, we are stuck. We feel that we have hit the rock bottom and do not know where to go. I follow what Arabians do. When there is a sandstorm and they are on the way to their journey, they're caught behind sandstorm. They just sit, hide themselves, and let that sandstorm pass, because it has come to pass. It has not come to be a permanent sandstorm. Similarly, when you look at ship, and when they are caught into storm in the sea, there is a cyclone. What master does, it just drifts. They switch off their engine, they try to anchor it somewhere and let that time of difficulties pass. It's something which I really practice in my life, and it has happened many a time that I have suffered during office hours. You have a lot of work. When you come at home, you have challenge. You are also suffering from few disease, but you do not know, like you feel very frustrated at that point of time. If you give up and you're like, no, I can't do it, and you take certain wrong steps, that won't be good. That is the time we should just drift rather than thinking much on it, because it has to pass. it has come to pass. It has not come to stay permanent. That has helped me a lot in my life. So, ladies and gentlemen, sometime when things are beyond our control, we do not know how to go, just drift. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Raghu, you're on mute.
Thank you, Akvip. As you rightly said, there is a great proverb called passing cloud. So nothing is going to stay. Think it has come, a bad day has come. Tomorrow is another beautiful day. Let's wait for another beautiful day. I think that's a way to go. Any more volunteers, please?
Yes, we have two, Raghu, Surya and Santosh.
Excellent. So hope both of them do not have roles. So please welcome Surya.
Hi everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, Surya, please go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, this topic is very close to my heart because in the pandemic, I faced a situation wherein I was in a company for around 5 years and I had given my blood, sweat, and everything to the company. And one fine day in the evening, I get a call and I'm being told that the services are no longer required and I would have to stop, working from tomorrow. And for some time, that feeling couldn't sink in, and I couldn't realize, how am I going to deal? Because I had been working for the past 10 years. Even during maternity, I had hardly taken, 2-3 months off. And it was a very difficult thing for me to imagine that my life without my job. But yeah, I think that strength of resilience of a lot of good company that I had, and also a lot of reading and a lot of books that helped me during that time. And in some time, I started to realize that there is much more to life than just, your day job. There are many more things which you could do. And I started working on developing my skills on content writing, on developing myself as into beyond my day job, the skills that could help me across. And I think in few months, even though I started doing some freelancing work along with my routine day, I did land a job again, and it was much better than my previous job. But yeah, that's the message I would like to give to everyone, that it's just a phase which passes, and initially it is difficult, but yeah, definitely it is something that we all learn from, and we all can move on. So thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Surya. Excellent said, Surya. This scenario every one of us would be facing in this group. And how do we come out when we lose job? It had happened to me. Believe me, every time something happens like this, the next one is going to be at least 3 to 4 times better one you get. So do your best and leave the rest. That's what the philosophy, and that's what the best way to treat certain scenarios. And whatever happens is for the good. We are doing our best, and leave the rest, and it will happen good. That's a way to go. So next is who else would
Santosh.
like to volunteer?
Santosh.
Please welcome Santosh.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, should I start speaking or will you give another topic?
No. Please go ahead. Santosh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Imagine for a moment, you're running a successful business. One day, you got hit by a loss, big loss. You are under financial distress. Your employees are leaving. Everything is going out of your control. what will you do? Will you stay in thinking, what happened? Why did it happen? Why did I started my business? Why are my employees are leaving? What is happening only for me? Will you stay in thinking all this thing? And if you start thinking all this thing, will you come up with a better solution, a troubleshooting solution? Never. What we need to do then? We need to accept that. Once you accept that, okay, everything happened, I'm in a loss, employees are leaving, I'm under stress. Accept it. Once we accept it, again, our mind starts thinking, how can we do it? How can we come out of this? How can we stop the employees leaving? Once we come up with a solution, we will start implementing. It's like suppose if you are feeling hungry, do we stay in stuck? Why am I feeling hungry? No, we always start thinking, how can I get the food to satisfy my hunger? So in the same way, in every situation, we need to accept it. It's inevitable. Loss and failing is inevitable. And if we accept that, okay, and if we take that responsibility on our own, it's my mistake, rather than giving the responsibility to someone else. If we accept it, if we take the responsibility, and our mind starts thinking the possibilities, and those possibilities are the right direction shown by the God. So whenever you're feeling stuck, whenever you're in a loss, we always look for the solution rather than the past, stucking in a past. So accept the situation and take the responsibility on yourself. This is no one's mistake, and I am the only one responsible for the loss and mistake. So then start thinking the possibilities, start implementing. For sure you will find a way, and that would be a better way. And over to you. Thank you.
Wonderful, Santosh. So, instead of brooding on the past, be positive, be constructive, and move on. Thank you very much, Santosh. Next, please.
I'm sorry, but I have to interrupt. Time is up for this session.
Yeah, you can take one more topic from Nikki, and then you can close.
Yeah, we'll have one more person. Nikki, please welcome Nikki.
Hi there. Thank you so much, Table Topics Master. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Terrific. Please. Terrific. Well, I'm just going to give a list or a number of things, and maybe something might resonate with all of you. So let's think about for a moment. I really like what Raghu said, which was meditation for about 30 to 45 minutes. In fact, something happened with me today where I got down and I immediately did a meditation. You have to remember, everyone, that there's many different kinds of meditations out there. There's not just one kind. Moving on from that, something else I did was I do a gratitude journal. I also do a forgiveness journal. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes or an hour or 3 hours. You can just do it for 10, 20, 30 minutes, however long you need to do it to help you feel good. A couple of other things are you can have affirmation cards. You can use stones like a blue kyanite rock, which you don't have to clean or anything. You just put it in your left hand, hold it, and you'll feel positive energy. So that'll help to make your mood better. Now, there's something where you can some people just can't really release and let it go yet. So something quickly to say is that, first of all, as long as you do your 100% in whatever it is you did that's now got you down, just know that you came from the heart when you did it. And you just have to surrender this issue and release it. Now, not everybody may agree or to believe in a higher power, but for those who do, for example, just know that you're going to, if you just have it in the knowing that where one door closes, a better one's going to open, and you can just surrender to the higher power or whoever it is, Allah, Buddha, whomever, God, just let it go. You've done your 100%. It doesn't define who you are. So you can also put your emotions into art. And finally, you can also sing a song like zippity doo dah, zippity a, my oh my, what a wonderful day. And remember, just don't feel sorry for yourself. Go out there and take action. Get yourself out of that pity party. Anyway, thank you so much.
Excellent, excellent, Nikki. You know, you have given a big list. I think even if we follow half of what you have said, I think we all will be much more happier. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raghu, for those indelible questions. Yes, there you go. All right, now for our evaluations. I would like to introduce Raghuram to the podium, to the virtual podium. Where are you, Raghuram? There you go.
Thank you so much, Ashvin.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, today I am the evaluator for the first speech by Dr. Mary. The topic, pray before you pay. She's really good in structuring her presentation. I really liked the structure on how she presented it with all the videos and explaining about the author from the Ken Honda author and how it helps the people by giving an example too. That really attracted, and that is something that I have learned today. So I would like to implement that going forward. I would like to be more gratitude. I'll try to show my gratitude. I'd like to be more gratefulness for the money and what I get and what I pay. So that is something I learned, and I would like to follow that. Thank you so much for letting us know that, Dr. Mary. And you are obviously a good speaker. You definitely attract the audience. Those are your strengths. The improvements, I would say, I don't know whether I misheard you or not, but I didn't hear the word of the day for today in your speech. So that is something that you need to improve on. And the timing, I think you took more than 9 minutes for the entire speech, whereas we have the limit of 5 to 7 minutes. So that is another point. So yeah, those are my points. So to conclude this, yeah, the structure was fantastic. You are obviously an excellent speaker. You have that capability to attract the audience. And I have learned something from your speech today, which I wanted to implement going forward. Thank you.
Ashvin, your lips are moving, but there is no sound.
Wow, that is active listening. That's not active talking, that's active listening. Thank you, Susan. Thank you. Well, I'd like to introduce Susan, who's gonna evaluate our second speaker, Pramod. Susan, take it away.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, and Pramod. I would like to commend you first for your command of the English language. Being a native speaker, I may take that for granted, but coming and learning the language and being able to choose your words clearly, say them clearly, and implement your storytelling, I was captivated. I thought that the items that you wanted me to focus upon were your vocal variety, and you mastered that. They were words that were so melodious as you were saying them, multiple syllables, and you also used your volume for impact when you wanted to say something, And yet you also had the mastery of pauses after saying something important when you mentioned the scenic beauty. And you allowed us to capture that, grab that message. So we felt the beauty of that. I thought that your speech was well organized, taking us from where you lived and why you had the desire to learn English, and then how you mastered it with the masters in English and literature. And it was very captivating throughout. You had good eye contact, a beautiful smile that helped connect you with your audience. And I thought that we did get to know you and a little bit more about you, with one caveat. When you were near the end, you told us about being movie buff and all the different languages. It seemed extra, didn't seem to fit throughout the rest of your theme for it. So I would recommend toss that out. It didn't fit as well, even though we'd like to know that about you, with the basic theme of what you spoke about, the English language, how you mastered it, and how you did it. I love that you had your commitment for the language and you delivered. Now, your gestures, you had one where you were writing, and that was very on point. You had a few others that seemed very natural, but many of them were below the screen. So I would recommend either going backwards a little bit further so you're from the waist up rather than just from the shoulders up. And then those movements you make would be more in range for your audience that helps captivate them rather than be out of visibility. I thought that your message about the two best decisions you made, being married to your wife, give us details, tell us her name. Just let us know that, and then joining Toastmasters, and that might very well have been a very strong ending. Really captivate, you got your message across. I thought you mastered your vocal variety, your pauses, and your pace. Your language skills were on point, clear, understandable, and masterful. I could give you kudos for accomplishing that, and it's making me strain in my own English language, which is natural for me. Keep on doing this. Keep on giving the exercise of English, because you're really showing us up. Congratulations, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank
You
you,
made my day.
Thank you, Susan, for that indelible evaluation of Pramod's speech. Thank you very much. And for our last but not least, our third evaluator, Jay, who's gonna evaluate Vamsi's speech, Understanding Leader.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashvin. Toastmaster Vamsi, Understanding the Leader, was his speech title. He started in a very engaging way. He started with the quote and he delivered his key message over there itself only, which was very good. Like that, not generally people rely on just power or authority on the leadership, but that impact made it clear that rather positive impact or contribution, which should be coming from the leader. His way of delivering speech was very good, that he was very interactive with the audience. He asked the questions to the audience and also waited for the response. And then interesting part about his speech was examples of day-to-day life of leadership. He gave the example of a very good leader from the history on Nelson Mandela. And he concluded the speech on a very relatable manner, that inspiring people and giving them positive impact, which is expected from the leaders. And generally, when we talk about leadership, what comes to the people mind, it's just power and authority. But that power and authority comes with the responsibility, and any leader has a responsibility to inspire others and make a positive impact in others' life. That was very well delivered by his speech. And by his speech overall, we got the idea that his leadership style is like contributing or inspiring people. That is his leadership style. Only few things I would suggest for some improvement. Like when he was asking the question, I felt that the audience was not getting the question. So if he would have raise the pitch while asking the question. And if we don't get response from the audience, you should have, if he can repeat it, then it would be more engaging. Maybe reducing the questions would be more effective. Like in 5 to 7 minutes of speech, I believe that only one question would be good enough to capture attention of the audience. If our speech is longer than 15 minutes or so, then I feel that maybe in between we have to ask another question to know that whether audience is listening to us or not. And another small thing, like you delivered it very well overall, like your leadership style, like you want to inspire people or make a positive impact in people's life as a leader. But however, if some examples or personal story around positive and negative aspect of the leadership style, that would have made a more impact on the audience. Some personal story would have benefited it. Overall, it was very well delivered. A speech started with a powerful quote. It was engaging for the audience with the interactions and questions, and it concluded with a very powerful message. Thanks a lot. Over to you.
Thank you, Jay, for your inputs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jay, for your evaluation. Thank you very much. Now, before we continue to our report for a grammarian and counter, I have a pop quiz for you guys. Were you actively listening to the speeches? Well, let me see. Now, unmute yourself and tell me the answer if you know what it is. In Dr. Mary's speech, what method did Vishan use to get his coffee?
The thank you in Japanese. Arigato.
Arigato, excellent. And the author of one of Arigato method was Ken Honda. What was the name of the book?
Happy Money.
Happy Money, yeah. All right. And what place did Pramod go with his dad?
Library.
Oh, you guys are listening. Okay. What master's degree did Pramod pursue?
Masters in English and Literature.
Okay, you guys are too lazy. Okay, how about this one? In Vamsi's speech, there are three things the leadership he said. Can you name all three?
Vision, motivation,
and
action.
Or inspiration. Inspiration. All right. Okay, one last one, guys. What was one of the active listening requirements?
Echoing.
Keeping on mute and speaking.
Not interrupting, summarization, and repeat what you hear. Yeah, echoing. Well, thank you, guys. Oh, yeah.
Ashvin, keeping ourselves on mute and speaking.
I'm like, great job, guys. And keep practicing. Now, Toastmasters is a great place to practice active listening. And that's what evaluations are all about, right? So please practice. Now, let's go for our report, our grammarian report. Sarika.
Hello, Ashwin. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. I'm actually in the car. I have to drive to hospital. I'll keep it very crisp. There are three people who used the word of the day, Ashwin, Pramod, and Evaluator 1, whose name I am forgetting, and pardon my, yes, Raghuram. Okay, that shows that I was not actively listening or reading the names. Pardon me. Arigato, Mary, thank you so much for that. And when I got down the stairs and I looked at the watchman and I gave her some money to buy the bread, the first thing I told the watchman and I closed my eyes was arigato. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Good week.
Thank you, Sarika, for your grammarian report. Excellent. And for our counter, Toastmaster Anna.
Hello, everyone. Firstly, I would like to answer the table topic question, which is because my report is very simple. So I would like to say if there is something going wrong with you, come to Toastmaster because I really cheered up by the meeting. So our report is, I think I just catch RAM evaluator, the first evaluator. I think you speak almost 5 times during a speech. Okay, that is my report. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you very much. And our timer report, Amanda, you said you put all the timing reports in the chat?
Yes, but I could share.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think everyone talked very much in today's meeting. In the prepared speech, Mary and Bessie used time more than allowed. And for the table topic session and the Santosh use time a little bit. Okay, that is my timer's report.
Thank you, Amanda. Great job on doing the timing too today. It was a lot. And I thank you everyone for coming here and listening to me ramble off. I hope you did a good active listening today. And I'd like to turn it over to our fearless leader, Raghu, the one in the red shirt, the one with the full set of hair.
Thank you very much. I'll stop recording.